Hi everyone, this is Pamela, and for the ones who don't know me, I am from Venezuela. I am 33 years old. And today's topic is quite interesting because it is more about how to know someone through their actions. And I know that many of you must be thinking like, this is really easy because you just check whatever they do, their consistency, if they just, keep their promise, and that's what I'm getting. In the part that you can identify someone, it's always going to be lying to you and it's not going to be reliable through the fact that they do not accomplish their promises. But first of all, I just would like to acknowledge the fact that I know that we are able to have a lot of information nowadays where we can realize about which are the behaviors that are very toxic today, because toxic is a really popular word nowadays, as well as narcissistic. And then we see narcissistic people everywhere. Just because someone, shows that perhaps they are very, in love with their image, or perhaps someone is not being empathic once, you're going to believe that no, they are toxic, they are abusers, they are, everything. And that's what I do not want you to do. That's why I want to acknowledge this first, because you have to understand that we are human, we are not perfect, and sometimes we just don't have a really good day. And based on that, you cannot just determine whether or not someone is a really good or a bad person. So always just have in mind that yes, we are able to have a really bad day, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being in a bad mood. There's nothing wrong with, recognizing your emotions. So for that reason, you cannot be labeling someone just because perhaps you found it in a really, bad position into that moment that you just happen to talk to them. So that's what I wanted just to clarify first. And when it comes to this, I wanted to let you know that this investigation was done for the psychologist Martha Stout from Harvard University, where she says that you can recognize whether somebody is not reliable, it's reliable or not, through the 3 rule. And how is that? She says that when someone do not accomplish their promises 3 times, that means that that person, it's someone that it's going to be constantly lying. Okay? So she says that, and that's why I wanted just to clarify the part that we are imperfect, because she says that when someone just do not accomplish one promise, maybe they're just going through the process of meeting this person, yes, maybe it was a misunderstanding and you need to understand it. But then when it happens the second time, it was a big mistake, and that's okay, you can forgive that. However, if you see that that keeps repeating a 3rd time, that's why you need to be very careful, because that means that that person, there is a likely high chance that this person is a liar, and is always going to be tricking you into believing that they are going to do certain things. Of course, there are many other things that you need to take into account at the moment of watching someone, but this is one of them. Like when you see that, for example, you're meeting someone you're dating and they have just broken their promises 3 times to you, this is a really big red flag that you need to take into account, because this person is going to do it in the future. And that's what basically they are showing you, that they are not consistent with their action, that they are not coherent. And that's something that I also want to just make an emphasis, that someone always should also show that they are very coherent for what they say and what they do. And if this doesn't match, so then you have a case of someone that is not very likely to be reliable. So this is basically what I wanted just to talk about. It's a really short video, but I think it is a very useful tool that you can use at the moment of watching someone very well, and understanding that just because someone is having a bad day, just because someone maybe it's feeling angry or perhaps is sad, doesn't mean that it is someone who is depressive or stuff like that. So let's stop with the part of labeling someone and saying that people is just bad or is manipulative just because you saw something, once. You need to make a deep observation and, analyze how many times this person has, done something that has broken, the trust between you or between others. How many times this person is being, lying, or how many times you have caught this person not matching their actions with whatever they say. So these are the most important things that you need to take into account at the moment you are watching someone, because that will lead you to understand better what is in this person's mind and what is it that they actually, what is their real being. Because one thing is what we want to portray, but one thing is what we are every single day. So that's why it is so important to always build, a lot of honesty of whatever you are. Doesn't mean that being serious is a bad thing, but it is a very important thing just to always keep yourself as center, being yourself, and as well as you are when no one is watching, you need to be the same person when everyone is watching. And that will show a better, image to yourself about who you are, because you are honest, and believe me, people is always watching. So be careful with that. Be always observant, and do not fall for someone who is always breaking their promises, because they're going to keep doing it. So if you like the video, I just want you to subscribe. So I do this with all my love, like I always say, and see you the next week. Bye bye.